not gonna start with some kind of introduction of like going, hey, this is the first part of our Aliens TTRPG campaign. Of literally being my first time playing Aliens TTRPG. A wonderful system from Free League, and this is not meant to be a chill introduction. I'll make one in post. All the music and intro.
And explosions.
Nah.
I hope not. That would be a little bad for us. We're in space.
I'll make some kind of like alien Breaking Bad sitcom-esque intro.
Oh god.
Even that, I'll go screw it and steal from Red Dwarf. But yes, this is going to be the first part of this mini campaign. And also, this campaign will serve as a session 0. So, for the synopsis of the story, because I have no knowledge of aliens lore, so this has been a learning experience for me.
I do.
There is a major question though. Does this take place before or after the Colonial Marines started their alien, like, extermination campaign?
That's the thing. God, I don't know.
Because if it takes place a little bit after, Barras would know what a xenomorph is and that there's a possibility of them.
The question of this is, I don't know.
I'd also have to probably not know because I'm gonna be really like studying shit.
For
so
the sake of not spoiling, I am literally just going to say I do not know.
All right.
If you encounter something and you have knowledge of that thing, then that's when I can reveal it to you. But for outside of that, just to keep people on their toes and also keep me not completely riding from the seat of my pants, I will just say, don't worry.
Okay.
You'll know about it when you know about it. Sooner or later, depending on stuff.
Noted.
But hey, if you want to ask questions about xenomorph lore, feel free to ask.
Yep. I shall once I figure it out myself. Again, not to spoil for the people who might be watching this on YouTube or you guys in general, because I like to keep things as like surprise. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I like surprises, unless they kill me.
So yes, you have that information. So the basic gist is 6 years ago, there was an incident. At the moment, it is being referred to as simply the Marco's Journey, the end of Marco's Journey. But it is just called Incident B145, or the incident of the Marco's Journey. The Marco's Journey being a RE spite or respite.
Incident what again? Say it again.
What?
Incident what? Like what was the designation?
Random sequence of numbers.
All right, 5, 8, 2, 1.
I'm not being tripped up by having to repeat what I've already forgotten.
I need to write it down.
Random sequence of numbers. You decide the fate of the incident report.
5, 8, 2, 1. All right.
5, 8, 2, 1. Got it.
Yep. 5, 8, 2, 1.
So
you can check my notes, which is going to be convenient.
RE Spike 2 are a rest and relaxation company. The kind of gist with RE Spite is they go around to the recently colonized worlds and basically create pleasure areas or rest areas or holiday resorts in colonial space, in these areas, simply to just give the people who are working there a place to go and just relax and take vacations. Even going so far as to take people off world for their vacations in their interstellar pleasure cruises, which are basically the main selling point on the first respite cruise ship, known as Noah's Ark, was basically there to help people get from world to world and also enjoy their time there. Like, it has shopping malls, it has swimming pools. It basically gives everyone like their little mansion in a spaceship to rest and relax, and also go shopping and also commune and relax away from being stuck on the colonial world that they're most likely going to be spending all their lives on. The other selling point of these interstellar cruise ships is the fact that they were built incredibly durable, kind of almost accidentally, as how the ships are built and the force that they can take means that you could attack them with a military vessel and it would hold out, which gave them the selling point of Spite are also very good ship manufacturers. They build the ships that heavy guns can't break, is the selling point.
That is pretty insane.
Which is more of a test of the safety of people who will take a vacation on a spaceship and just risk their lives to spend 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks just floating through space with packed in a can with 10,000 idiots.
Sounds like so much fun.
And that, kids, is why I don't go on airplanes.
Yep. Basically, you
Put
can
me on a cruise ship, I'll be fine.
Yep. Think of it as, think of which leads us to the Marco's Journey. The Marco's Journey was the second one of these ships made, and was mainly built to just take a tour around the world, and also fly as close to the sun as a ship can, as its main selling point. It was not called the Icarus. Ensign, they will fix that in post one day. But think of it as Disneyland in space.
Do we know what happened to the first ship?
The Noah's
Was it
Ark,
Japan?
that still functions and still does its. That still takes its tours.
The Noah's Ark is still functional.
Yep.
Oh God, this is a Disney cruise.
And the maintenance is also unlikely. Okay.
Yep. So, the incident of the Marco's Journey, which occurred 6 years ago, the information around what caused it is very scarce. Basically, all of the witness reports were, we heard the emergency evac drill alarm, and we fled. Which was one of the first evac drills of that kind, so a lot of people panicked. A lot of people didn't get off the ship in time. But also a lot of people got off the ships and they couldn't basically prepare for the mass moving of people in evac ships, which led to a lot of confusion, a lot of missing people, a lot of incidents in itself. But eventually, during the evac, everyone evac'd, including the pilots. Meaning no one could fly the ship. Which should have been left to its own, basically its own AI to do the job. But it just disappeared. Like off the face of the galactic map. Everyone evac'd, thought, oh, we'll go get it once it's safe. Or like a repair ship will go get it. Repair ships got there, ship was gone.
Which is odd because if the AI was running it, wouldn't they know exactly the route it would take?
Yes. Or it would have actually tried to keep it in exactly the spot it is, rather than allow it to drift.
So something fucky happened.
Not allowed to drift. Okay, so we have a few things that are clearly
Concerning.
discouraged. Well, no. If you think about it, all the information we've been given, it can't be enemy ships. It can't be maintenance. It can't be maintenance issues, most likely, because maintenance issues would mean the Noah's Ark would also fail. The Noah's Ark didn't fail, and it can't be something with the AI because the AI is probably like it could be something with the AI, but it's definitely not working because.
But again, that is all your jobs to figure out, because 6 years later, the Marco's Journey was found in Unions of Progressive People's space, closer to the sun than any ship has ever been. And it is stayed in its exact same place, not moving.
That's weird.
That is disturbing.
That means that if the ship AI is working, then that means it would just keep it in place, which makes sense because the gravity would obviously make it orbit, right? Wouldn't it?
Yes. It would have
if it's
some form
not
of gravitational pull, either around the sun or around whatever body it is.
So it is not rotating around the sun.
It is stationary.
It's stationary. Okay.
So it is constantly thrusting in one direction to keep it stationary then.
Or in a sense, thrusting in many directions to keep it safe. Because if it was powerful enough to thrust itself away from the sun, it would be in perpetual motion away from the sun until
Yeah,
it
but it's
enters a
not.
gravitational pull that is stronger that requires it to thrust.
So it's just constantly keeping itself in
Yeah.
whatever is still online, which implies that the AI is doing something, which is bizarre, unless something else is controlling the ship and doing it manually.
Yeah. All possibilities. But again, after these 6 years, the ship has finally been found. Now, the ship is RE Spite property, meaning it is their responsibility to ensure that it's recovered by RE Spite, for RE Spite, out and away from UPP space.
Mhm.
Because I don't think the Union of Progressive People would like a capitalist ship just sitting there. So agreements have been made, contracts have been written, and the Nocturna Corporation will see the responsibility of investigating the Marco's Journey and also fixing the Marco's Journey to a state where it can fly out. You, as a collective crew, are going to be the first responders.
6 years late.
Yep. Your job is to figure out whether or not it is actually safe to board onto the Marco's Journey. Then you are to get it operational in some form and figure out what has happened on the ship. The Nocturna crew will be working on fixing and maintenance. The IBV will be the investigation team. RE Spite will send a corporate agent as oversight. And Colonial Marines will be playing the role of protection against foul play. Now, some of you have history with this ship. Whether it is just vague memories of tall folk just running past you until you are suddenly just picked up by one man and rushed to an evac while you just simply cried. Now, would you think a child would be traumatized by that? This is a question for Hellhounds
Yes.
and Mix.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how does it make you feel? Speaks the man across the table as you both sit in cold, hard chairs and are asked that question. How does it feel knowing that someone with your personal history is being made to go back there? This is a question for either of you.
I feel fine.
Damn.
I feel fine. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
While Den is audible, Alice is staring off, like, at the desk, just looking at anything but a person right now, and she's rather quiet.
I see. Well, bravado or cold demeanor can be helpful in these times. I myself have experienced such traumatic experiences as the man across from the table picking at tools on the table begins to work on buffing and polishing his jaw. A cold black metal jaw with no lower lip, and rather than lower teeth, what looks as if just a single long extended razor-like tooth.
Hmm.
He is this close to being that guy from Metal Gear.
Well, so long as you don't prove to be the setback, I'm sure your father put in a good enough word to make me agree that a package deal would be more efficient. Family work will work harder to keep family together. And he's assured that he can keep you in both in line. I will approve the paperwork. Don't worry, your assigned pay for the contract will be individual. And you are dismissed. Now, as you can get up to leave, he is simply just arranged. He pulls something out of his drawer and begins lining up objects on the table as you both leave the room and see a young woman just sat there, still. So still, you've never seen a human sit so still and not want to fidget.
Mm.
This is you, Catherine.
Mm-hmm. So
As
where
you-
am I sitting?
You're sitting outside of a room
Mhm.
as the door opens and two young women just walk past you.
I feel my gaze linger to them, and then like a little delayed smile comes off and a little nod. Taking a lot of practice to get that good at it, but she's done it. I'm assuming that she knows that it's her turn to come in, so
Yes, you may enter. You
yeah,
are called
I'm
in
gonna-
by the man
Mhm.
with the black jaw.
Gonna wait for the door to close, and a melee face is back to neutral immediately. The second the door shuts. Before I turn to Mr. What's his name? Actually, no, I have my notes.
Yep.
Mr. Hello, Mr. Keeley. Or Kelly.
Welcome in, Catherine. You may choose to sit or stand. It is your choice.
I have been told it is more proper to sit. We do not want people to get overtly suspicious about a woman who's doesn't really seem bothered by standing all the time. She's going to calmly sit down. She's going to sit straight, and then you're gonna watch her like that kind of for a second gaze, and then push her back more against the chair so she seems more like human. Like she purposely makes her posture worse as she sits against the chair.
Almost as if you are trying to make your frame straighter than it should be.
Yeah.
All right. I want Catherine to make an observation check.
All right, you guys can see the power that is Catherine's wits at being at 8.
First check of the game. Let's go.
Looking at the front, you feel emotionless to the insignificant objects placed in front of you. You see a wrench, you see a screwdriver, you see a pen, you see an apple cutter, and you see a razor. None of them invoke any form of emotion, and you see no connection or significance to why such objects should be placed on the table in front of you.
I gaze at him, and my brow slightly furrows, and I'm like, "Sir, I don't think that organizing right now is the best time. Could you? Is there perhaps some reason why you have an apple cutter on your desk, or any of that stuff for that matter?"
I am just trying to gauge an understanding between us. I want to see what tool you would like to be. As you can see, tools can have many different shapes and sizes and jobs. However, as he picks the razor up and he pulls an apple up and he uses his razor to peel away at the apple. Which puzzles you, as there was an apple cutter and an apple peeler right in front of him.
I am not going to say anything because I have not been spoken to, so I'm going to just keep watching.
As he begins peeling this apple with this straight razor. Again, this is a flip straight razor he's peeling it with.
This is definitely slightly like, I don't know, getting on my nerves, but like my brain's like, this is really inefficient. Like, I gaze at him because I know he's not stupid enough to know to like not use an apple peeler. I even said apple peeler, so he knows there's an apple peeler there. I lightly reach forward and grab the apple peeler and offer it to him.
I see that is the kind of model you are. Everything must have its proper place and proper role to play. Apples are apples, oranges are oranges. That is going to be your personal agenda, Catherine.
My personal agenda is what?
Apples are apples, oranges are oranges.
Apples are apples, oranges are oranges. And you're gonna watch her like her eyes. Like,
I hope that when the time comes, you will become a more flexible tool, like this razor. But for now, the role of assistant to Vincent will be a dignifying enough job for you.
I seem bothered by it. Like, you requested me specifically, sir. Am I not to your liking?
I called you in because I had not seen you before. Only thing I have seen from you is your make and model. Now that I have a good measure of what that means, I'm sure your processing power will be enough for you to complete your duties and assist Vincent in his role. And should the time arise, you may make more flexible decisions, hopefully. Anyway, that is everything. You are dismissed. Now, how does Catherine feel about all of that?
So synths have personality, obviously. They have feelings. Or do they not have any feelings at all?
You have feelings. It's kind of you have like a innate response of how you might think of things or respond to things. Kind of as a directive, you can flexibly change that code.
I almost feel like off the rip, like lightly insulted almost.
Yeah.
But she's going to perish the thought from her head and raise the table. She's gonna
Yeah.
she's gonna do something unusual, which is that she's gonna take a moment and stare at the razor and then leave.
Mm-hmm. But with that, at this moment in time, with your make model and your structuring code, you
Mhm.
see things for how they are, not what they could be, or what they could be used for. You're very much of there is black, there is white, there's no mix of grey. Hence why your personal agenda is now apples are apples, oranges are oranges. Things are exactly what they look like and should be. You
Okay.
don't think that things could be flexibly used for other jobs.
Mhm. I have my purpose. Everyone else has their purposes.
Yes.
Hmm. Those children are bizarre then. Purpose could be served.
Yes. Now on to the next person. So, at a bar, somewhere in the colony you are currently parked, buff woman sits at the bar, drinking. Also, to clarify, brown-haired buff woman sits at the bar, drinking.
Because there are two of them.
You have recently docked, and you are taking what little respite you have, knowing the next job you are going for could lead in disaster, or could leave you with a good enough payday to work easy for the next few years. At this bar.
Well,
Oh, no, you can go if you have something to
no,
say.
you go. You go.
At this bar, many people are in the same state as you, taking what little moments they can to take these sweet sips of relaxation and freedom and get the buzz from it. As you go around, I want you, Boris, to also roll an observation.
Observation.
A success. With no need to push yourself.
God damn it.
You
I rolled 11
comfortably
dice.
stop and sip your drink. What kind of drink are you drinking?
Baros, very loose with the drinks, but at this point, still technically being on the job, would refrain from alcoholic beverages. Would most likely just be drinking like a coffee or a tea.
So you're staying away from alcohol.
Yes.
Is there a reason for that?
Mainly because she believes that even though we're docked at a port and this is kind of a respite, she's still technically on the clock.
You may be the most sound mind person in this bar right now, because no one else thinks like you. Everyone else has their strongest liquor to get through their day and their day jobs. The only other person who did not drink was the white-haired man who entered the bar as a pair with another man. He sat down, he paid for drinks, but he did not drink himself. He just sat there and patiently talked with the man he was drinking with. This was only for a short while, though, as the man who was partaking in the drink was very much a lightweight. He had his drinks, they both got up, and that is the moment where you also observed that the white-haired man was leading the drunk. Leading from where you can see from the bar to an alleyway. Or more specifically, to where the trash is.
Shit.
Now, what would Barris do at that moment?
She's on the clock. She's grabbing her smart gun and walking out towards them.
Mm-hmm. Keeping it concealed?
You can't really conceal a smart gun. It's just on her back.
Mm-hmm. You just whip it over, like if you're wearing a jacket.
Yeah.
How are you following?
Trying to stay a little bit concealed, but not really trying to do it that much. Like, if they see me, they see me.
Well, as you get up, again, like, there's not really anyone else outside at this moment in time, because, like, the people who would be outside at this time are doing smarter things, like staying in a bar and drinking.
That's fair.
And the sound of drinking revelry and the usual bar music that a bar would play. You hear the sound of knocking, the kind of knocking of a fist to a face or a fist to a gut. What do you do?
Barros is rushing forward.
Okay.
Ready for a little scuffle.
Okay. As you go around, you see a man laying in the trash. And another man with white hair and a white beard standing above him with both his hands bloody. And he goes and spits whatever is stuck and clogging up his nose, which has also received a bit of a scratch, as if the person he was assailing fought back. And then he turns around to see you.
Colonial Marines, hands in the air. As she pulls out her smart gun.
Take it easy. Wait, you're no Colonial Marine, you're just a Nocturna merc.
Still work for him.
Yeah, well... As he goes to like finger his knuckles. Well, after this, maybe we'll end up working together.
Who knows?
As he goes and he shakes whatever blood is left dripping from his knuckles. Fuck, I'm gonna have to wear gloves. And takes a brief moment. I need you to make manipulation check. He goes around saying, listen, I did what I had to because I need this Marco's journey job. It doesn't move you as much. Like, the guy he's just beaten into the ground, into the pile of trash, could also have needed that Marco's journey job.
Well, seeing you've, committed a crime, I'm not so sure.
Listen, my wife was on that ship when we evac'd. And I barely got off that ship with my 2 daughters. I need this job to find my wife again. If I don't get on this job, they don't get closure. And I just want to see my wife's remains given some form of dignity.
You're fucking lucky I'm gullible, and I put my smart gun away.
Thanks. Name's Nathan.
Boris.
Now, how does Nathan's sob story affect Boris? Do you completely give in to his words and he becomes a buddy? Or do you remain continuously suspicious of his actions and he becomes a rival?
She's gonna give in mostly.
Okay. Feel free to add Nathan as a buddy. As Nathan will be doing his best to keep his bloodied hands covered and his secret kept. But he's grateful enough that you're willing to not rat him out. However, the lingering threat that you could do at any moment. But you're a goody two shoes.
Yeah.
Might lead to things in the future.
Aww.
Alliance is forged.
Yep. Which then leads us to the boring ass office with the boring ass papers and the boring ass screen.
Ugh.
With so, what kind of thing from home would Nara bring to work with her?
Her ring, obviously.
Well, I mean, that's going to stay firmly attached to your hand unless you have it in a necklace.
She has it in a necklace. She usually wears gloves because her job can get dirty.
Okay. Any cups?
Honestly, I think she does have a favorite cup. Just a cute little cat design on it.
Hang in there.
Oh man, that's gonna suck when you die, dude.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, because today is the day you actually get ready for the big trip. Where you go off in space to find the Marco's journey. And you won't be seeing your wife for a good while. So long, in fact, that you're pretty sure your 2 pet rats are going to die before you get back. Now, you don't...
Yeah.
How would Nara feel about rats as pets?
Not her favorite, but not her least favorite by far either.
Yep. definitely the wife's pets rather than your pets.
Mm-hmm.
As
Still think you should have gotten a ferret.
yep, maybe when they finally die, you get to choose the next pet or rodent. Maybe you get a ferret, a very high price and luxury animal to have as a pet. Maybe you go cheap and get yourself a cat.
Maybe.
Maybe one for the wife at home and one for you to bring on the job. But now is not now is not the time to be thinking of new pets. As you look at the one last message you receive from your wife, Angelica,
Mm-hmm.
it is simply. Oh no, you can go.
Yeah, she's just gonna look at it with take a sip of her coffee.
Yep. It is your wife with her two pet rats, Mickey and Minnie.
Of course.
They
Of
are
course.
dressed as musketeers in little tiny outfits.
That's fucking adorable. What?
Stop doing this, man. This is so fucked up.
And the simple message
Just a
is
photo?
yep, it's a photo and a message. It's basically saying, have fun on your business trip.
I'm sorry, you cut out a lot for me there.
Basically, the message reads, have fun on your business trip. If you take too long and Mickey and Minnie pass, I will go into hypersleep.
What?
To wait for you, because again, you're going to be in hypersleep for a while. And
Yeah.
if it's a case of she either waits out for you and age mixes up, or she goes in as well.
And just waits for you to wake them up.
Mm-hmm. She was a big fan of Sleeping Beauty.
No, Nara's just gonna send back the message. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just don't worry. I'll be sure to get you out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're also now cutting out, Almina.
Huh?
No, you cut out as well. Don't worry. I think everything's fine now. You can always do the roll call of gambling.
Gambling.
Yeah. Sorry, Nara's just gonna send the message. Don't worry. I'll wake you up when I get.
Yeah, you cut out again as well. Okay. So with that.
Oh, huh? At least, hold on. Is there a lot of static between us? Oh my god, what the hell happened to connection there?
Oh, you back?
Hold on. Is my connection better now?
No.
Yeah.
So, 5-minute break.
Yeah.
Break over. So now to set
Hopefully.
your new scene for you all. As you are all waking up from a long sleep. Some would call it a hypersleep. If it made you feeling super at the end. Not quite.
Man, I don't feel any different at all.
You all wake up. And what are your allotted routines when you first wake up from hypersleep?
Nara's gonna get up, stretch, get dressed, and go get a cup of coffee.
Yep. What about Alice?
Alice is gonna get up. She's also going to stretch. But she's just going to sit there for a little bit to really look at her surroundings, try and get her internal clock to sync back up.
Okay. And the bar. What is your wake up routine? Cal.
Hmm?
What is
sorry,
your wake up routine?
Oh, she would wake up and uh, get into her morning fatigues and do her basically what she learned in boot camp, like her morning workout routine,
Mm-hmm.
and get into proper uniform and start work.
Okay. Now, Catherine,
Mm-hmm.
how do people sleep?
On their horizontally on their back usually.
Yep.
This is an odd question to ask me. Are you asking me this so I could like figure out how to mimic sleeping?
What's your morning routine when you wake up from hypersleep? So literally, you've just woken up from a really long sleep that you've had to take because you can't be awake during light speed travel.
Well, bioscanner, obviously. Review my bios, make sure everything's correct, and then I will go and find my the person I'm assisting.
All right, they are also in hypersleep right next to you. But next up, we have Denise. What's Denise's routine?
Well, Den wakes up and kind of just, cracks the joints a little and goes to find her sister.
Unfortunately, your pods are probably right next to each other. But as
Yeah.
for everyone else who was waking up from hypersleep, starting down, Milena, the first thing she does when she sits up is she pulls out what looks to be a poker chip and
God damn it.
gives it a flip, catches it in her hand and flips, looks at it, looks really deflated, pockets it, gets up, jocks on, routine begin. Lieutenant Skylar Wilkerson is no nonsense. He's up first, overalls on first, out the door first. Young Ellen Rover, your pilot of the ship.
Mm.
She is immediately up. She goes, looks over at Denise, and then looks over at Alice. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine.
Ella just gives this look of, I'm already awake.
Jeez. Ready, kid.
Mm.
And what about Denise?
Den's just like, she's a little grumpy.
You might feel a little grumpy.
She's still feeling kind of groggy.
And then you both hear the sound that usually makes your spine straighten up. The large, loud clapping of hands. A single clap. Alright, get up. You know your jobs. Alice, go check the drones. Make sure nothing in the maintenance bay got loose and ended up wrecking the hold. Then, I want you to head to the engine room and make sure that everything's been ticking as normal. Do diagnostics and then meet up for breakfast. As the old man who clapped his hands clapped with gloves, and
Pretty
then
impressive.
immediately got up, brushed his beard, and left.
All right.
This is probably one of those rare instances where everyone else gets to see Alice really animated. Because she perks right up.
Straightens up immediately.
She does give
Job to do.
she does give Denise like a quick side hug before hurrying out.
Sure, nothing's gonna happen to these two. I think they're gonna be just fine.
Den's just gonna speed walk because there's a job to do. You gotta stay employed.
I gotta stay employed. How else am I pay for gambling? I'm sorry. Keep going. It's a one-off. It was a one-off joke. Keep going.
So after that, Dr. Vincent Navarre and Dr. Megumi, they get up, they do a brief little check. Vincent tucks in his shirt.
Just sitting there watching them with a smile.
Okay, time to get to work.
Good morning.
Oh, Catherine, yes. Unfortunately, our job hasn't quite started yet, so it must have been quite boring for you.
I was just 20 minutes, 32 seconds, and about 15 milliseconds?
Yeah,
It wasn't that long.
well, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Let's go up
Um,
to the break room.
Okay. Mess it up. Can I eat? Do I eat? Is that a thing I do?
Megami
yes.
literally following Vincent, incredibly annoyed.
Let's make it just like a little bit troubled because I have I eaten at all? Like
No,
this is
you,
a-
as a synthetic, you don't need to drink eat or drink apart from to give the illusion that you can eat or drink.
fuck. I have to pretend like I'm eating breakfast.
You do have what's essentially a waste container for food that you eat.
It's one of those situations where you don't have to, but you can.
It's
I love-
basically you keep it in your stomach in case anyone needs emergency rations.
Oh my god!
No.
Oh,
I provide nutrient paste to those who need it.
You become Mama Bird.
Oh,
no.
please not be
Oh.
alarmed. I'm about to unhinge my jaw.
I have a soundboard thing just for that, and I don't want to use that.
Oh no.
Yeah, the peanut. Yeah.
I'm gonna be sitting.
I'm
Alright.
sure that will never become a useful function in the future.
Well, I don't have Discord Nitro, so I can't do it.
I really fucking hope not.
I can, but I won't.
So with that, the other person to wake, it's almost as if he was awake before anyone else was. Jeffrey he's already by the door. As you all woke up, he said, "Meet in the briefing room in 2 hours."
It's Mr. Calais.
Yeah.
No, it's
I'm
Mr.
fine.
Kell. Hey.
Calais? I do not understand the difference between pronunciating. This just seems like, is it dialect? I don't understand.
But with that,
Yeah,
everyone.
She is not very good at hiding this being a synth thing.
Calais. No, she just seems extremely autistic. That's the secret.
you'll get used
Very
to it,
painfully
Kath.
autistic because she is very painfully autistic.
Reminder that this takes place in what's essentially the 60s, but not the 60s. So
80s.
you're just weird, not really autistic.
You'll get used to it, Kath. Don't
Yes.
worry.
But with that, we have the first actually important checks as down in the engine room. Now, there's a reason why Nathan is probably assigned Denny's into the engine room, and that is because she is the smallest, and the engine room is a bitch to navigate. You have a lot of tight spaces to squeeze through, jump around, and climb through without unplugging anything important.
Yay!
Which
I
is
love my
going
job.
to be mobility.
All right.
You fail,
But
you unplug something important, you kill everyone. No
Wha-
pressure.
mm.
You're not serious,
Okay.
right?
Moza, that's
No,
very
they're-
much proper, Nostromo-esque ship design.
and we're dead.
should put-
Now, since you are a human, you can push.
You should definitely push it.
So she's
This will
crawling through, and
yeah.
her foot gets snagged on something,
Yes.
like really lodged tight, and she turns around and is like, "Shit! Fuck! No! Fuck!"
So if you
And
want
she
to,
pushes it.
Yep, you can push or roll. So you look at the chat, you have that push. That will give
Yeah.
you 1 stress and let you re-roll.
All right.
So you could save this.
Okay, 2 successes.
So as you're going down, you literally you feel like you're about to pull something with your shoe before it actually unplugs.
Oh, sorry.
Before it actually unplugs, with your foot, you just kick it in.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. Oh god. Okay, let's keep going.
But you are good enough to get through diagnostics.
Yeah. God.
Now, fortunately, this doesn't take a comms check or a contech check because your father has left a handy little note of colours of what should be flashing on the panel, and that if they don't flash, you call him.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is flashing as normal. None of the lights are broken or dim.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is working.
Sounds good.
The kind of job that is meant for a kid who isn't a kid.
Yeah.
Now, as for Alice, you've got the more mechanical role to play as you go to the drone room, and
Yep.
I want you to make a heavy machinery check as you begin working on looking at if the drones have stayed in station. Nothing's moved out the way. No wires have come loose. That's on. Yep, there we go.
Ooh, 3 successes.
Nice.
You get bonuses after the first success, I'm pretty sure.
So, working through and knowing that Nathan has the utmost confidence in your skills, you go and do diagnostics checks, checking off a mental clipboard in your mind. No drones have dislodged during hyperspace travel. You do a systems diagnostics on each of the 3 mobility drones and repair drones. None of them seem to be functioning. One of the drones has received a frame upgrade to carry a heavy load that you have discerned that this drone is not being used for repair purposes. This drone is being used for crew transportation purposes.
Hmm. She's gonna make a mental note of that.
Yep. So with that, you've both done your task successfully. However, one of you a bit more stressed than the other, but no cause to panic. Nothing has been unplugged.
Not all the way,
Nope.
at least.
Hmm.
Great work.
But then everyone else who doesn't have a major role to play yet on the ship is just lounging around doing their thing. Jeffrey is in his own little room now, like his office, getting everything in order. Ellen has gone to the brig and has relayed to everyone that before, basically, you've been brought out of hypersleep ahead of schedule. To which Jeffrey calls you all into a meeting.
Ah, shit.
Are you worried?
Slightly. Not that much, though. Ahead of schedule, still ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Which means something probably happened.
Suppose that is true, but more time to stretch the bones, don't you think?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. And don't worry, Denise. You don't have to make it a agility roll.
She's getting better at having small talk. This is huge for her, guys, okay?
So all of you arrive into it's the mess hall, but it's currently being used as just another briefing room because no one wants to not eat at this moment in time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
No
everyone can eat breakfast. Your standard
Okay.
affair of bran flakes and milk.
I'm gonna do the least offensive one just in case.
As Jeffrey looks over at Ellen and says, "So you're saying the ship brought us out of hypersleep early due to an emergency distress signal?" Yeah, two actually. I can confirm that we're getting closer by to the Marco's journey, as one distress signal seems to be coming from that ship's computer. I'll relay that one first. As she displays the distress signal, it is just 2 lines of text. We are running out of food. Possibility of resorting to cannibalism high.
What is the date?
Send help. This distress
Oh,
signal is
God.
pretty frequent. That could just be because it's a repeating broadcast.
Help. We are running out of food. I want to take a look at it, but I'm assuming I'm gonna defer to Vincent here. Obviously.
Well, we can get to that when we're actually closer to Marco's journey. What about this second vessel? Looks like a standard marine vessel. Bit repurposed, but the distress signal coming from there says that the engines are down. I can bring once we swing by and get closer, we can get an observation of it. However, that would take us off course a bit. So we just ignore it and move along, says Jeffrey. But they could have information on the Marco's journey. If they're close by, they most likely know where the Marco's journey is, and we're hoping to cash in a cheap book. So information might be useful. And if not, then they are criminals.
Yeah.
Thoughts? As he looks at the entire crew.
Hmm.
Yeah, boss.
Tall lady is just eating her breakfast.
I am already finished.
The advantages of not even having to chew.
Mhm. I chew. I chew to mimic it. It's just I'm efficient with it. I don't really got to worry about choking.
No, you eat one bran flake at a time, so you don't have to chew.
No. He's at least trying to be convincing, guys. Come on. She studied for this.
Den really isn't paying attention. She's fiddling with her laser pointer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably mistaken. I mean, are they asking for our opinions?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
asking for your opinions.
Yeah.
Would you respond to a distress signal to a stranded ship that says its engines are down?
Ah,
It's a little far fetched to assume that they would have information regarding the Marco's journey. Even if they did, it is potentially delaying our investigation and also the rescue of the people that are potentially on the Marco's journey.
human lives are human lives, and either way, this is going to turn into a rescue mission.
But there's no telling that there's no telling that either of the people contents of the crew are alive. We don't even know how old that distress signal on the Marco's journey is. That's not even to also say that, well, it's close to the sun, isn't it?
Well,
That potentially has hazardous effects on like all of our biology.
my say is, if we go to the marine one and no one's there or no one's alive, there still might be supplies. Having extra, not a bad thing.
I'd have to agree with the jarhead over there.
Extra supplies may be handy, but we haven't expended any resources yet either.
However, if there are people on the Marco's journey that need to be rescued and potentially are still alive, and it's true that they are low on food, the extra supplies will come in handy for feeding them.
I also might have people I know on that ship.
You do?
Possibly.
We'll talk about this further in my office. Private Boris. As
Yeah.
Milena looks nervously. But yeah, it looks like you're going to look over at this vessel. So it is going to take some time for this vessel to, or for the Black Cat to fly close enough to get observational information. In this time, Private Romana has been called into Jeffrey's office.
It's gonna go. It's part of her job.
Yep. To which you go in.
Yep.
And Jeffrey immediately asks, so, are these personnel the former Nocturna mercs who ended their contract early?
I possibly. I just know they left early. A lot of marine vessels go missing. Comes with the job.
Are you aware that information of Lamarco's journey was not meant to be leaked?
No, I was not.
Are you aware that the people on this ship will be seen as committing a crime and will be treated as criminals?
That's fine with me, honestly. If there's anyone left on that ship.
Very well. I will be relying on you, Lieutenant Romana, as he presents a little insignia pin that you can tell he clearly swiped from Skylar and slides it your way.
She's gonna grab it and thank you for the promotion, sir.
Well, during these circumstances, rank doesn't exactly mean anything. But at least take it knowing that you have some more favor with me than other people on this ship.
It's good enough for me, sir.
Okay.
Anything else you wanted from me, sir?
Nope, that'll be all. You're dismissed.
Over that, and I leave.
Yep. Just, you look, you turn around. Jeffrey simply just takes out that razor and flips it out.
He really likes that razor.
He does really like that razor.
Why does he shave? He doesn't have a beard.
Fucking asshole.
I'm not even gonna ask, and they're just gonna go.
Right. So, current objective. Boop, 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 boop. So, while you were awake from hypersleep and the Black Cat, you've had your time to recall. You've not reached the Marco's journey yet, but you've gone to this other vessel. So, here's the agenda. Broken vessel. Let type. This is where I have to rely on the fact that I don't have autocorrect.
Why is there a rat in the bottom of the map screen?
Don't worry about
I
it.
just noticed it.
He's cheesed to meet you.
It's an adorable little buddy.
Nice to meet you.
What was the joke too cheesy? My apologies.
No, it's really good.
I was.
Yeah.
These jokes are giving me the blues.
I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it wasn't a swing and a Swiss.
I'm on the floor. Stop.
Okay.
Eh.
New agenda. Stranded ship connected to Marines who ended contract early. Aid or arrest. So,
All right.
current situation. You are here. If we look to the map, you are here. The current ship is here. You do not have visual information yet, as the Black Cat does not have Windows. Nor does it run on Linux. It relies on camera data collected by the drones.
I got good Comtech.
But at the moment, you do pick out motion signals that this is the motioning that the ship is giving out at the moment.
So there's motion
Three
for things that aren't attached to the ship.
Three surrounding smaller objects. So I'd proceed with caution.
Potential debris. If we could get closer,
Could be
I could-
debris. Could be escape pods.
Could
Could
be
be
drones.
people.
If you'd allow me to take a closer look, potentially I could ascertain that.
I'd rather a Nocturna personnel take observational control of the drones. But you're welcome to also give it a try as well. This is from Ellen. As she cut off Nathan, who was immediately going to give this role to Alice. But yeah, if Catherine wants to take it up.
Perhaps I could provide assistance.
So this would be a Comtech role.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down and
Let's see what you got, Kath.
Mm. That's two
As you
successes.
go around. So, at the moment, as you
I actually,
are...
I do get something extra.
Yes.
I can do it quickly. I can do it half the time that it would normally take.
Mhm.
Or I can not read the roll to overcome the exact same challenge in the future.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the second one.
So you want to make it so you can literally do the same check in the future.
Yeah, and just succeed it automatically.
Yeah, so just if you're controlling the drone and observation stuff.
Mhm. He
So,
just seems to like sit in. It's like fits like a glove immediately.
machine can talk to machine.
Mhm.
Poggers.
Beep boop.
So, as you go through, so these cameras are old and shitty, so the FPS is a bit weak. So it takes a while as you're moving around the ship for a new image to show and scan through.
Mhm.
So as you are able to pick apart the three little squares around the bigger ship, makes sense, cause while they say the engines are out, I think they meant the engines are out of the ship.
Oh,
As
These are
the ship
engines.
looks to have been broken apart.
Do I notice any? Do I notice any hull breaches in the in the actual like cabin itself?
No, the whole breach looks to be in the storage area, and the engine area.
Doing some.
At the moment,
reasoning.
the ship's power seems to be down. You can
Well,
go and approach with these drones to try
Mhm.
and do some form of maintenance, or at least create an entranceway for people to enter if needed. But
I
from
would.
your perspective, ship is
Mhm.
broken.
The storehouse is.
That's basically
Sorry.
your idea. Is your first impression of looking at this is the ship is dead.
These three dots here are the engines. It was breached directly against the storage supply, which means that any supplies they had would be immediately ripped out into the vacuum of space. I heavily doubt that this ship is anything more than dead.
So you want to assume the key crew are also dead?
Did someone say it to me? Or
Yes.
who said that?
This was Jeffrey.
Logically speaking, it would make sense, but if other people have other options, I could make a safer pocket for crew to get down there and investigate themselves if my answer is unsatisfactory.
logic doesn't always line up with reality. It's just a matter of if we want to investigate or not.
Well, I'll use this as an opportunity to assess to see if you're all good at your jobs, and I pick the right people. All right, arrange amongst yourselves the team you're going to send. We'll send 2 to investigate.
I should probably be on the board as well. So, who's going with me?
Yep. So this will entail suiting up and climbing on a drone to be flown towards that ship.
She's a jarhead. She might as well.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Okay.
if we're looking for suggestions, I highly suggest that I look at the. Do you have the pin on your chest?
Yes, I have the lieutenant pin.
So what would your new rank be?
That
Lieutenant.
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 She's now the
Lieutenant-
highest ranking Marine.
I recommend Private Lieutenant Barres. My apologies. Should be there for the rescue effort, as she is the most physically inclined of the.
I would like some extra muscle.
I'm up for it.
Okay. So you fly the drone back.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Colonial Marshal and Colonial Marine.
Now, the Marshal and Marine, if you want, you basically will be suiting up in your hard suits
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you're going to be ferried by the drone. So
Mhm.
someone needs to do a comm check to pilot that drone back over.
So this would be wit plus comtech.
This would be, if you wanted to, you could literally just say you passed the check because you've done it already.
All right, we'll pass the check because I don't want to get you guys lost in space.
Would I take the pressure suit out of the item compendium?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Basically, there's items who are on the ship that are just there. Like, you have enough hard suits for everyone almost.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nara's just gonna suit up.
Ferry my little babies.
Well, I didn't mean to click that. Sorry.
No worries.
You roll pretty good anyways. But these little drone babies move with precision because I direct them.
Okay, so one thing you do have to do, or someone may do it for you, is you have to hook yourselves to the drone, or rely on your own grip and hold on to the drone as it propels you forward.
Let's hook on, shall we?
Yeah. What would that be?
I'm going to find the correct kind of roll.
And then we can see if one of our
There's not really a good manipulation roll. So I'm going to say it's going to be mobility.
All right.
okay, that's a success. Oh,
Yep, so if you want, you can push.
I'm going to.
but you
oh.
don't-
Yep.
Jarheads.
So that
You're
is a
pretty-
success.
Oh. Oh.
Ugh.
No panic check needed. It does take Lieutenant Romana one or two or three attempts to fully hook on. The hard to is making it hard to manipulate the clips. But you are well connected to the drone as you go to the airlock. Or basically, the drone airlock as the drone is deployed back out. And you are there just on the drone in space, floating towards this destroyed vessel, which you can now see clearly is just wrecked. Like, literally, looks like it's been ripped apart. The engine and the back end of this ship just ripped off completely.
Talk about a bloodbath.
You don't see
I don't know if anyone's dead yet.
You don't see any people or personnel. You just see bits of the ship. You don't see like any inventory or anything. As you fly, the drone takes you. If it wanted to, the drone itself could fly you into the ship. While a bit cumbersome, and also risking slamming you, Catherine decides the best course of action is probably leave you by that ship's airlock and use the emergency routine to open and close it.
That sounds like a good idea to me. I don't want to get crushed in the face.
Yep. Now, using the drone and using the auto success from Catherine, this will be added to it as well. The drone with its arm manipulators being controlled by Catherine. Plugs in, turns, opens the airlock for Barris and Nera to enter.
I am going to pull out my motion tracker and switch it on, just in case.
As they enter, Nara's just gonna look over at Barris like, so, how's it feel no longer being the biggest person on the crew, because you're a rather tall one yourself.
Still the strongest, that's all that matters.
I like the attitude.
Okay. You've got motion.
Motion, how far away? Like, just about how far away?
One room over. So as soon as you open this
Shit.
airlock, it's there. It's floating back and forth in the next room.
I am going to hand the motion tracker over to Nira
Mm-hmm.
and pull up smart gun because paranoia will take over at this point.
Okay.
Nara's gonna go ahead and draw her revolver as well, just in case.
Yep. Now,
Uh,
how are you going to? How are you entering? How are you opening?
I guess we have. Do we have communication back with Catherine or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Catherine.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask Catherine to cycle the airlock so that we can get in.
Okay.
I'm gonna do so.
Okay. No
Mhm.
issues. Ready?
I am going to step in and to the left immediately with the smart gun raised, trying to put my back against the wall.
I
Okay.
guess I'm stepping in and to the right.
All right. I want the first person entering to make a survival check.
Okay.
That'll be you, Jarhead.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
immediately as you enter, the first thing that you see coming at you is a bisected corpse and just a pocket of blood slashing into the screen of your hard suit.
Shit.
It splashes on your screen, and you can see that the pressure from opening that door is causing that blood to immediately start freezing.
Shit. I'm gonna try and get
Yeah.
at least a small line
You-
clear.
Keeping your cool, you literally just wipe it off and just pat the helmet, and whatever is frozen and still on just immediately just starts falling off. But all of that blood just immediately started to freeze, and then it just froze, and then there's just literally red snowflakes floating through the air
Jesus.
as
Ah,
the corpse just is floating there as well.
I would like to confirm identity on the corpse. Just like, is there a dog tag or anything?
But depending on how close the corpse is to Bara, she's just gonna look at the face to see if she recognizes it.
You do recognize it.
Ooh.
This is a former Nocturna Merc, someone you have worked with before.
It was.
I know him. That she's gonna grab him by the collar and just basically pull the collar down and see if there are dog tags there.
Yep.
She's just gonna rip them off.
Collect the dog tags.
Yeah. Nara's going
Reese
to.
Tino. Reese Tino.
She's just gonna carry him with her, and if they encounter another corpse, she's gonna do the
Yep.
same.
Yep, Nara's gonna go ahead and radio back to the main ship. Well,
Yeah.
we found one corpse so far.
So you this radios to Catherine, and then Catherine can relay it.
I'm gonna relay to I'm gonna turn to Jeffrey because he's obviously my superior and be like, we have a total confirmed of a Rios. What was his last name?
Tino.
Rios Tino.
Rios Tino. He was bisected in the first of the closed.
Yeah. Simply looking to the left, you can see his other half.
Oh no.
He plugged the hole.
Oh.
Oh.
Not the worst way I've seen people go.
That's still pretty depressing.
Right.
Come on.
Well,
Let's check the rest of the
that
ship.
confirms the leak. Catherine, tell them to go and collect what other dog tags they want. They can.
Okay. I'm
Yeah, relay it, obviously. Collect as many dog tags as you can.
If we know who's dead, then we know who's alive. Or floating in space somewhere.
any other motion on the motion sensor? I'm
No,
asking.
there's no more motion. That floating corpse is the only thing that's moving on the ship.
Nothing.
Okay, well, let's systematically clear it.
Alright.
Well, we should probably stick together for safety's sake in case something happens.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Okay, and
Now.
we're just gonna go to the next room.
Yeah, feel free to make observations on what the hell might have happened on this ship.
I would love to.
Never mind.
Oh.
This is why they pay me for it.
So, looks to be a dispute. Every hole that has been plugged by something is usually something caused by a bullet that manages to break through the hull. Gunshots were fired on this ship.
Nera's gonna radio back. Alright. It looks like most of these holes originated from what was initially a bullet hole. Probably some internal dispute.
Mr. Calais, it seems like the result of the hull breach, at least for some of these holes, was a internal dispute between some of the Marines. Most of these holes are bullet holes, according to Nera Harris.
Well, keep collecting tags.
It's exactly what Boris is gonna do.
As you go through, you find more bodies. These bodies different than how the previous person died. There is one person who looks to have been the pilot. He's wearing a hard suit. So, you're going to have to open it to figure out what's going on.
Alright. I got this.
Yeah. Before we do that, what does the visor look like?
A simple hard suit visor.
No holes or...
No holes that you can see. But, Nera, you see a hole in the crotch of the suit.
What the fuck?
The fabric of the area around it looks as if it was bitten into.
What the fuck? I'm just gonna point it out to Barris, like, do you see?
Fuck.
Am I going
happened
insane?
here? Fuck it. She's just gonna try and remove the smart suit with one hat while keeping the smart gun pointed at the corpse.
Nera's gonna keep an eye on the motion tracker because she doesn't want to. Now she's a bit paranoid.
The scene isn't pretty, and it will take a stress check from both of you.
A stress check?
Yes. So if you just click on stress. Yeah. Nara, you keep it together, but Barra...
Panic level 7, Jesus.
Yeah. You begin to just get a nervous twitch as you see it looks like this guy was eaten from the inside out.
It's fucked. I'm checking for good dog tags while shaking.
Yeah.
As you look, as like, you've really got to dig in. As like, the moment you open this hard suit, everything else in like was inside that was most likely holding the bones together. There's nothing to hold it anymore.
So it just all...
You begin to just reach your hand in to try and get the neck, but then it just sinks.
Don't puke, don't puke.
And sinks. And you just grab the tag and pull it up. It looks chewed on. Little tiny, like, bite marks or indentures inside the dog tags.
Nera's just gonna message back. I'm glad the rest of y'all aren't here right now. This is one bloody scene we've stumbled across.
Yeah.
Guys, Barras is gonna radio back. He's basically soup.
Would you please? Do you have a idea of what the cause of this might be? Do you have any
Uh,
autopsy notes?
Eaten inside out.
From not like using the fact that you got 3 successes in your observation roll, Nara, if you want, I can give you a clear idea of what you think might have caused this.
What does Nara think happened?
Space termites.
Space termites. Fucking hell.
Well, do you think we're dealing with some kind of swarm?
If we are, I don't want to be on the ship any longer.
I'm gonna think about it for a second. Do I know if space termites would even survive the vacuum of space?
You don't even know space termites exist.
Oh, so this is a xenobiology thing. Then I'd turn to Vincent. And well, actually, no, I wouldn't because I don't want to blow his cover, right?
No. Vincent is incredibly interested in what kind of creature in space would have been able to get to like that endpoint. Like, there's no like animals in space that can survive for a long time and
Mhm.
do like stuff like that to a human body.
Yes, they say it's space termites, Doctor.
Oh, fascinating. If we could get the body over, we could inspect it in more detail.
Excuse me, Nara. Would it be possible to recover the hard suit and body intact?
No. It's soup. I don't think we can transfer whatever remains of this corpse.
Doctor, they say that the I'm gonna glance. Are Den and like Alice still here?
Yeah.
They're a little green. I don't know if I'm gonna like kind of look a little bit trepidated and then kind of like motion for him to come here so I can whisper it. So they don't have to fucking hear about this guy's.
Yeah, sure. Vincent like goes in and listens. And so, what do you say, Catherine?
They say that the body is basically just soup, so they can't really get the entire corpse. We can get the hard suit though. It's in the dark tags.
Ask them what kind of soup. Are we talking Are we talking vegetable? Tomato?
Nara,
Or
if
is
you
it
had to
stew?
Nara, if you had to describe what soup was like, what would you describe it as?
This does mean another
Jeez.
look. If you really want to check.
She's just gonna look.
From the feeling, like a chowder.
Barras, who is currently arm deep, says chowder.
Barras,
Huh.
who apparently had to rifle around in the body, he said chowder?
Mm,
He said chowder. Do we know where the entry
we don't
hole
have
is?
that on the menu during the ship, do we?
Oh my god. Catherine is entirely impassive to this. But you're like, oh god. It's like, I don't think we do have it. Sorry.
Good. It wouldn't be
So-
good if it was kept on the menu.
Beef stew probably would be worse.
Hey, Barras, you want to just move on now?
We might be. Put the helmet back on.
All right.
We
There's nothing
might
of
be
worth
able to
on this.
figure something out.
There's nothing of worth on this ship. Might as well come back, or
Alright.
at least get that black box.
Right, let's grab the black box and go.
Barras is going to put the helmet back on the hard suit and grab where the hole would be and basically try and curl it up to seal it a little bit and just kind of try and drag the hard suit along.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No,
It doesn't take long because you're in 0G, that as you begin pulling it along, that hole. The hard suit might be solid and sturdy, but the hole is pissing itself in a sense.
Please just let it go.
Do you want it? That's my job. I'm going to take it back to him.
It appears they're going to be up and beyond for you, Doctor.
Uh,
I feel as though the tags would be enough.
You do not have to bring the body back.
Yeah, the task
The moment they see that, she's gonna let it go.
Thank the fucking Christ.
And with that, you return to the ship.
I like that Catherine kind of just sounds like a 911 operator. Like the most stressful situation. She's like, "Are you around someone, ma'am?" Yes. Mm-hmm. Like she's entirely passive and calm.
All right, then.
Yeah,
Let's actually continue with our actual job, then.
Yes.
911, what's your emergency?
If the doctor really wants a sample, you could scrape some off the arm.
yeah.
Yeah, so again, like, you're back on the Black Cat. There's decontamination and things to go through. There's also those tags to consider.
Did
What's
you
to
did
be
you happen to
done
get
with
the
them.
did you happen to get the black box too?
Yep, and the black box.
Yes.
Because then I can take the black box and I can bring it to Vincent.
Uh,
and I'm gonna try and
Yep.
Right after, if they are done with anything, right after they are done, Baros is gonna ask for them back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Well, can we have the dog tags too? Is that what you're asking to have back? After
Yeah. After you do anything with them.
So I'm assuming that we're gonna go to our lab because do we have a lab? Like where do we go?
You have a medic bay that's kind of being used as a lab.
We should analyze these.
Mm-hmm. To which you have a brief few moments to kind of decompress and relax.
Ugh. That scene's gonna haunt my nightmares.
You're one to talk. I was elbow deep.
Fair. Ugh.
Right. So once that is done, you all actually receive the briefing of the actual job you are meant to do. So, we'll be arriving at the Marco's journey shortly. Our main goal is to hop as many people as the weight limit of the drone can handle and send it towards the Marco's journey to one of its emergency entranceways. Once we've done that, we can begin working through. Our main goals are to find and gain access to the main computer of Kublai Khan, as well as begin to take inventoried stock of any personnel, survivors, or deceased.
Mm-hmm. Can I use the bathroom real quick?
Yep. If you want, we can take. We can either take a 5-minute break or we can end it here, depending on what people want to do.
Do you want to take a? What do we think, friends?
Like take a
I'm
break
okay
or
with
call it.
going. I'm okay with us keeping going.
Yeah. Right. So,
My question is, how much longer do y'all want to go?
probably another half an hour. I could go.
Another half an hour? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I got
Okay.
5-minute
I
break
have to
wouldn't
get
be so
up
bad.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta pee real quick.
I have
Alright.
more job training tomorrow
Yeah.
morning.
So, do you want to go another half an hour or do you want to call it?
It makes, if you say you just want to call it, I'm okay with calling it because I don't want to.
I think this is a good break point for a session 0. It gives you an idea of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
gives us an idea of the group dynamic, how things work before we get into the meat
So
of it.
basically, this just makes for a perfect session 0. So I
Yeah,
think actually calling it here
I
would be good.
I think that's a good idea.
Yep.